Boxing Opinions 100. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. I wanted to talk a little bit about how boxers make their money and how some boxers that kind of seem like if you earn say $2 million early in the beginning of your career and you're a hot prospect, you could use Adrian Broner for example. Probably made millions of dollars and thought that you would be champion for a long time because of your status. You don't never know when you're gonna get knocked off the pedestal. But I was just using Adrian as a kind of example of the modern day boxers. But boxers in the past, many of boxers, especially in the past, are just walking around like normal people, broke from not understanding what boxing, the different aspects of boxing. So I wanted to talk about the sanctioning bodies of boxing. There are four major sanctioning bodies in boxing. One being the WBA, the WBC, the IBF, and the WBO. But now there have been several sanctioning bodies created. If you have a champion and so that's how maybe sanctioning bodies were created from owning the champion. But I wanted to explain how boxers that, don't have a business sense of mind or someone that's not cheating them, like Don King was known in the past for burning several of his boxers, and you can kind of see where that got him today. But, I heard Don King say one time, he said, I got mine. He said, have his. So he's basically saying, take care of your own business. And not even including the governing body. So the governing body markets the fight, promotes the fight. So this is just bodies where money from the fighter is going. So all these different sanctions and bodies, the fighters are basically paying for these sanctions. It's like not the fighter won the belt, but he doesn't own the belt. It's like owning a home, but you don't really own it because if you don't pay the taxes on it, they'll come take it. So it's the same with the sanctioning bodies. So it's like somebody, you won a belt, a title that you think is yours, but in reality, it's not really yours. You have to pay for the title the day that you earn the title. So if you won a title, sanctioning body automatically steps in and gets their cut out of your purse. And there have been, as you can see here, look how long this has been going on. It says since the early 20s, 1920s. So that's a long time for somebody to just. This is my viewpoint on how I visualize it. Say for instance, I go out and purchase a belt. Belt that nobody has won yet. So I've purchased this belt, but I'm going to rent this belt out for life. So long as I'm the owner of this belt, I can rent and lease this belt out to whoever its owner is. So that's how I kick back and earn my revenue. So the fighters feel like it's like a trophy. You win a trophy, you take it home, it's yours. You put it up, you win an award, you take it home, it's yours. But not this belt. This belt belongs to the person, to the sanctioning body that created and owns this belt. And the WBA is one of the oldest out of the four that has basically been around through the years. So they have the most prestige. So out of I say the WBC, because the WBC is the green belt. Everybody seems to want the green belt. So must be, I think out of the belts, they consider that maybe the uh, highest associated belt associated with all the titles. And according to the WBC guidelines, so if you look at even the promoters have to pay the sanctioning fees. So it's like this sanctioning body, this group of people that are just kicking back, waiting for a fight to happen, waiting for a payday. So, this is a lot of reasons that you have to take into effect of like becoming a young fighter. This is even more reason to get your business orders and like your affairs in order, and don't just be going out spending lavishly and without having an accountant. Myself, I wouldn't really need an accountant. So I mean, I know how to count. I can check my bank statement. So as far as having an accountant, I guess once you get so much money, the accountant kind of helps you like invest in certain things. But like through the years, a lot of people have gotten beaten. Like Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson, out of all the money that he's made, have almost, I would never say he's hit rock bottom. I think when they say like a fighter like Mike Tyson is doing bad, that means that he's low. So he has developed all these things that he has to take care of, like properties and people on the payroll. So you have to budget all these things and put them in the fighter's budget. So that's why in boxing you have to be very, very careful of who you have around you, who you trust. You could wake up one day and don't have nothing in the bank. Like if you look at Joe Louis, Joe Louis had to go stand as a greeter in Las Vegas in order to pay his taxes. And this was years after he had retired. So they used him as a symbol of like, well, this will attract people and we can still somehow generate money off of you. So you go stand out and greet and sign autographs, and we'll make your taxes go away and give you a little spending money. And we'll send you home and call you the next time we need you. So, I don't know how much money Joe Louis was making and, how much them fighters back then, but I know far as their education on money wasn't too good back then. There was certain people who knew, how to guide themselves and last themselves. And we haven't even talked about this man right here. So everybody pays him. So we all know who Uncle Sam is, the IRS. So everybody pays their fair share of their taxes, but this we haven't even discussed yet besides the sanctioning bodies. So boxers and the percentage of the money is why I wanted to discuss this topic. Like the percentage, they pay 3% for every belt. So if you're say you're a Canelo Alvarez, but which we got to talk about that subject later on, that's coming up. But say you hold all the titles in a division, 3% per belt. Say if I got four belts, That's 12% of my earnings that I'm paying out. So you do the math. 12% of 2 million, 12% of 10 million. So these are people that just have in hand in your money and renting you the boxers out of belt. This is a little math I just wanted to show you right in front of you while you were watching this video. Now you can see if you're paying 3% of 10 million, that's $300,000. So if you got four belts, that's $1.2 million that you have to pay out of your boxing purse. Unless, you can. Now they say, I've heard Andre Ward expose and say that boxers can negotiate their purse, but it seems that not all boxers can negotiate. It depends on what's your status in boxing. Who are you? As you can see right here, where I've seen this article where Floyd Mayweather and Canelo has the power to negotiate with sanctioning bodies. So Canelo has established himself and weeded out some of the people that are putting his hands in his pockets. It's just like Floyd Mayweather. Get your hands out of my pocket. You know, we all know what that's from the Malcolm X movie. The guy out in the audience, one of the guys that killed Malcolm X, yelled out, "Get your hands out of my pocket." So it seems that somebody has a hand, a lot of people have a hand in these boxers' pockets. But the new boxers that are coming up seem to be more what I would say, more knowledgeable of how the boxers in the past didn't do right with their money. Like, Muhammad Ali, the list goes on and on, where a boxer, where we think that they had a luxurious career and are just walking around now as daily people. So let me know what you think about this video about the sanctioning bodies, the governing bodies, the IRS being in these boxers' purses. And do you think boxers nowadays should handle more of their affairs, or, if you have the knowledge to do it, because if you don't know about all the stuff that you're paying, so I suggest that you get somebody to prepare it's just like if you don't know about taxes, get you a tax preparer, and then you might have to get a second look at it, because these people can get you through your taxes. They got accountants that can do your taxes, and then they wind up with millions of dollars of your money, and explain to you that you made $102 million last year. This is why you're paying us, and all along you don't know nothing because you're not knowledgeable of it. But Sugar Ray Leonard, earlier in his career, after his career, he kind of, I read some articles on him where he had to reinvent himself to just keep the upkeep of his lifestyle. I'm just talking about his homes and the gardeners and stuff like that, not just being going out spending lavishly. This is just an upkeep thing. So Evander Holyfield had one of the biggest swimming pools in Atlanta in his home, and he lost that property after he had retired because of the upkeep of the property. So just let me know what you think about this video, and this is Boxing Opinions 100, and I'm out.